Hey, what's going on guys? Nick from Soho Motorsports, and today we're going to be discussing Jonathan's 2019 Infiniti Q60. As you guys remember, we used to have our blue Q, and after seeing this one, I kind of honestly miss our blue Q because it was pretty close to how this one was. It was lowered, we had the wheels on it. I mean, these cars are fun to drive. If you've ever driven any of these Qs or any car that got the VR, even if it's a Q50, these things have a lot of potential. And so being able to unleash that potential is what we did on this one. So Jonathan came to us first. He wanted to do full bolt-ons, which basically was, he had an intake, he had exhaust, and he wanted to do a tune. Drove that for a while, and as anybody that drives any modified car, they always want more and they want more and they want more. So he came back to us and was like, you know what? I want to do the Pure Stage 2 turbos. So we did the Pure Stage 2 turbos. He also wanted to do E85. So the big thing that a lot of people don't understand is there's a big jump from going from doing like pump or E30, which just requires the low pressure fuel pump, to go into full E85. So being able to go to full E85, we had to upgrade to the AMS, the RA405 high pressure fuel pump. We did the Extreme DI 1900cc injectors. And so obviously the flex fuel kit from AMS, and also an AMS fuel pressure sensor is what we did on this setup as well too. The low pressure fuel pump was also done because, like I said, that's something you could do when you want to do E30. When you want to go full E85, you got to do the entire thing. I mean, the entire fuel system. So when you're doing the injectors, as many of you are aware, you have to do the fuel rails. And so we did all of that to get the car ready for E85. So the nice thing about this one, or actually the cool thing about this one, was that he still kept the upper cats. He didn't want to do any kind of full race down pipes or anything like that. He wanted to have like a daily driven vehicle. He wanted to be, the tone to be tame, nothing too loud. It's got the MBRP exhaust on it. So, and then he's got resonated lower down pipes. So when we were tuning it for pump gas, we stuck to around 19 PSI, give or take. And a 19 PSI on pump gas did 466 and 484. Now do keep in mind, this isn't all-wheel drive. So many of you are aware that when we put all-wheel drives on the dyno, we disconnect the all-wheel drive. And typically the all-wheel drives will have a lower reading than the rear-wheel drives. The nice thing about the all-wheel drives on the street is that they actually get to hook a little bit better. So you kind of trade off a little bit, right? You lose a little bit of power because it's going through the front differential and the all-wheel drive system. You get to trade off. So basically you trade off and you get a little less power on the dyno for a little bit more grip on the street. So kind of works out in favor. Even still, this car is quick, and you'll see when we go for a ride with my partner Justin, every time that we go for a ride, it's just me and him. That's my co-pilot. So we'll go for a ride, and you'll see, and it'll actually be his first time driving one of these VRs with bigger turbos. So let's see what his reaction is to that. So we did the pump gas, and then we did E85. So it had about quarter of a tank of 93 in it, so we weren't really fully able to get all of the 93 out of it, so we put E90 in it, which we used as the Ignite E90, and we got the content up to about E60. So at E60, bumped the PSI up a little bit more, 21.43 PSI, did 543 and 534. So power band's beautiful, comes in, it holds. That's what it does on the street too, man. It comes in and then it holds. So many of you are aware, or many of you that do have Qs or VRs know that on the stock turbos, they'll hit real hard and then they'll fall off on the top end. This one, it hits and it holds, which is nice and beautiful, man. So this car was fun. You'll see, I'll pan over the actual engine bay, which he has the entire AMS catalog of the carbon fiber components, from the cover here, he's got the intakes, he's got this cover here as well too. So I mean, he did the entire setup from AMS Performance, which came out really nice. Obviously looking at the car was done very well. I had to do a video on this car. I love the way it looked, I love the way it sounds. He's done this one very well. And also now it has the power to go with the looks. So very happy for him. Very happy that he decided to choose us to do all these modifications for him in regards to making the power that he wanted. He wasn't chasing big numbers. I know a lot of guys are gonna be like, oh, I could have done 600 wheel and all that stuff. He wasn't chasing big numbers. He wanted reliability and he wanted to enjoy it. And obviously we still have the stock upper cats, so we really couldn't push it. We are in Jonathan's 2020 Infiniti Q60. Of course, we got Justin driving. This will be one of his first Q60s.
Yep, first Q60.
Yep, so Pure Stage 2 turbo upgrade. Basically everything for E85, bigger injectors, high pressure pump, low pressure pump, all the things we discussed earlier in the video. So we'll do a couple pulls in it and see how it does. It's all-wheel drive, so it shouldn't be too crazy. Okay.
Boy, it just gets up and goes, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's no lag.
There's no lag, there's no drama, no nothing. It's like, all right, we're going.
Yep. And all in the luxury of white leather seats.
And I'm nervous to touch anything in here. See, all my cars are black interior because I work on cars for a living. You get a little grease here and there and a little dirt, but yeah, this thing's nice.
Yeah, I think got up and go. And that was in drive, so we'll do a manual mode pull. There we go.
Wow.
How the Q should have came from the factory.
I did not expect this car to move like this. Like, you hear the numbers and it's like it weighs 2 tons and yeah, it makes 560 horsepower, but man, this thing just pulls.
He'll enjoy that.
Wow.
And still has the cats.
Still has the cats. It's a luxury car. Like, throw it back into drive and nobody's the wiser. You can't even tell. The mildest throttle input gets you a lot of forward momentum real fast, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's always good having a car that has enough power where you don't have to downshift 5 times to get it to pass somebody on the interstate.
And that's what this car is. It's got the looks and the go now, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty too. Jonathan, you got good taste, man. This thing's beautiful. So good.
The beauty of auto.
Just hang on the steering wheel and keep it rolling. This is great. I love this.
Now you're spoiled. Every kid that comes through now.
Yeah, no kidding. Next car we drive. Oh, I gotta shift gears again.
So yeah, VR trans we were just talking about. They hit it with that one.
One of the super popular swaps that we get with folks that come to the shop are any VHR cars, a VR 7AT trans. Man, Nissan got that transmission right. I mean, it's just, that transmission is like, it's in drive right now and it's just like boom, boom, boom. Like, I mean, it's instant.
Yep.
And it holds a metric ton of power. Like, we haven't found a limit on how much power it can take yet on any of our builds.
Yeah, even with the boosted ones.
I don't think we've actually blown up one yet. I don't think we've heard of.
On the VR ones?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
I mean, they can take a lot of torque. That's what they're known for, because these things put down all the torque. So the biggest thing you run into is the torque limitation on the motor before you run torque limitation on the transmission. Right, and the other upside there is the fact that the way the torque converter, being that it came behind a factory turbocharged engine, it has a higher stall naturally. So everything inside it's beefed up, and generally people who put that transmission behind the VHR and tend to go boost, and that does nothing but help. Yep.
Like, that little bit higher stall gets you in the power band before it really transfers to the rear tires. And man, on the street, like, the driving feel is just so different. I mean, a good torque converter can make or break a setup. You can have all the right things in the wrong torque converter and the car be a turd.
Yep.
So,
no, 100%. All the pieces have to work together, right? As with anything.
Yeah. If you got a 7AT car and you want to turn the power up, or you just want a better road feel, we have VR transmission swap options. We have a whole package we sell. Yep. With drive shaft options and all kinds of stuff, and we haven't heard a single person say that I regretted doing this. Like,
it's always, man, I should have done this from the get-go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, this car drives so nice, y'all. Oh.
Spoiled.
I'm about to go to a dealership real quick.
This was a fun build. I do want to thank Jonathan for trusting us with this vehicle and allowing us to do this build for him. We appreciate everybody watching the channel. If you could hit the subscribe button below, and we'll catch you on the next one. Do keep in mind that we plan on doing some pretty interesting things here in the future, which would include some podcasts. Let us know your thoughts on that. Comment below. Catch you on the next one.